Orange and silver, kind of a happy marriage of colors here. This is the Protagonist. It's been super hyped up. We finally get to look at it here. It's been, I feel like a long time coming. This is gonna start at $350 US. I don't know what shipping's gonna be. So for all the people maybe who are gonna watch this on YouTube or whatever, there's probably gonna be a shipping charge. It's most likely gonna vary depending on where you get it shipped to. Please remember that, please. There is a crap ton of cases, color-wise, and even some different weight options. I haven't spec'd out the most expensive option, but it definitely looks like it goes well above $500. So if you want like the stainless steel weight with some crazy color schemes and stuff like that, you're gonna be dishing out like minimum $525, I'd say. The hot swap PCB costs an extra $10. There will be 3 different layouts that I took a look at, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of different plates with only one plate. I'm not quite sure why this one here costs a little bit more. The carbon fiber costs $10 more. And then you can also add in stabs, which is nice that they did this on the bundle page. I don't know if you save any money by doing that. Doesn't look like it. And the foam kit's going to cost you a few extra dollars too. I think in today's current market, $350 for something a little bit more designer makes perfect sense to me. I mean, like designer keyboards, if you're comfortable with the design and you want to support that person, it's hard to kind of justify or not justify a price. I feel like that's, you know, beauty in the eye of the beholder type thing. In this case here, I think $350 for what you're getting, just from the photos I've taken a look at, because I actually haven't unboxed this yet, it does make sense. There is some really cool combinations you can do that are kind of this happy marriage of different materials, like the polycarbonate case color, and you know, there's a lot of stuff you can get the board to look like, which I think is super awesome. Let's see what's in the box. Obviously this is content stuff, so you're obviously not going to get all these plates in here, although it'd be super awesome. So I believe this is also done by Kezawa, so Manu. They've been doing some great stuff too. And then we have carbon fiber, or one of these is carbon fiber, one of these is aluminum. I think this is Palm, PC, and FR4. Cool. And then we have a PCB. Now, I feel like this has come up a few times. I really hope your PCB won't have problems. I'm hoping not. This has come up a few times with PCBs with layouts, and I did take a look at the layout. There's a lot of options here. It is a Gondo PCB, so guys, for what it's worth, if there was a problem with some of the content creator stuff for PCBs, this man here, Gondo, has been excellent with PCBs over the last God knows how long in this hobby. If there's one thing I have faith in, you know, even outside of the board, outside of wired in and lube switches, Gondo will most likely fix any issues there is with the PCB. But yeah, tons of layouts on the hot swap. I'd probably go with solderable myself, but for the sake of today's stream, obviously this is probably a better choice. All right, let's take a look at some of the other stuff. We have our daughter board here. I appreciate the fact that I did read that they were thinking about going with a Molex connector, and I'm so glad they didn't. Daughter board screws, some of the gaskets. This is 30A. Also, this hard shell case, by the way, I love this. This is fantastic. I've never seen a hard shell case with like a little shoulder strap on it. Love that. That's a little. I picked it up and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I might actually take that box to the meetup on Saturday. The strap is a nice touch. Yeah, genuinely. Oh wow. This is nice. The silver and orange do look kind of nice. Orange and silver, kind of a happy marriage of colors here. And again, this keyboard starts at $350. You can go all the way up to like, I think, you can spec it out to like $500+. It depends on what you do, and there's 2 different bottom weights you can pick, Protagonist or just the wired-in logo, I believe. The Protagonist bottom weight, I wasn't too sure which one I'd like more. I kind of like this one here a little bit more. And just a little disclaimer, guys, this is going to be a sponsored stream. As you guys know, that never affects my opinions with anything, but just a little disclaimer. Kaiju probably is going to be the choice we use today, by the way. Like, I think Kaiju just kind of works on this. But here's the case again. We'll just go over some of the little specs of the case here. I think the most notable part about this is, okay, let me see if I remember this off the top of my head. It should be an 18.8 millimeter front height. Now, I don't know if they included the height of the feet on that particular number, but 18.8 is a pretty nice number. And then you kind of have your standard box on wedge. I really appreciate the top frame kind of peeks out a little bit on the side profile here. My camera is not liking this. I like that, kind of adds an extra flare of, you know, just texture to this, if you want to call it that. Pretty standard, you know, all the way around type thing. So, and then again, the bottom of this case, ignore my fingerprints. I don't know if this particular one's coated. I think it is, but either way, this will be a fun project if anyone's into patina. That could be very fun. It's a group buy. To address something with the group buy, and this is no slight to Lubed or anything, because I've heard that they've had projects delivered and shipped out and stuff. I don't know how popular this group buy was or how many orders they have. Anything usually with a lot of different SKUs can usually end up taking a little bit more time than sometimes perceived. So my only concern would be this may take a little longer in the long run. That just comes from my experience with products with a lot of different SKUs in them. So it could take a little longer to deliver. I'm going to have some confidence that Lubed is going to be, you know, on top of that. Same with Wired and all that stuff. But just as a little thing with anything with tons of different SKUs and stuff like that, sometimes it takes a little longer than normal. All right, so with the plate here, I kind of appreciate this in a little, you know, a little manner here. If you decide to go the hot swap route, if you just want to tune up the spacebar, they are giving you some room to kind of tune it up over here. Like, you can technically unscrew this and lift this up to kind of wipe down any excess lube. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the little bit of extra space there. Other than that, looks like a pretty standard plate here. We're not colliding with anything. There's no tightness, which is good. It's all right. Let's put our switches in now. This is the carbon fiber plate we're using today. All right, let's put this together. So obviously this is going to be a screwless design, which, to be honest, again, just being 100 with you guys, this isn't my favorite way to kind of do screwless, but I understand why people do it in certain design cases. This is only 4 screws, so it's not as bad as some other boards. But let's take this apart. Let's see what's inside. Again, if you guys are interested in like that top frame, you know, a little bit of a border on the top, you're probably really gonna like this. So taking this off here, you can see there's some machining on the top to kind of allow the gaskets to sit. Very nice. I believe this piece is anode and this piece is anode very, very well. Don't see any blemishes or specks or anything like that. And then we have our bottom piece here. So we have more screws on the inside, which we'll have to take out to get access to the daughter board area. So we can do that too. Yeah, I think the thick bezels work here. Normally, and again, this is a matter of preference, I am into thinner bezels on keyboards, but I can always be swayed by a thick bezel. Oh, even nice on the inside over here. Small little blemish here, but I know this was used by another content creator before this, so nice. They did a pretty good job. If this is the expectation of quality for boards, even with that minor little whatever this is on the inside, again, I know this was used by other content creators. Pretty nice. They also have a bit of a laneway here for the daughter board cable, which is, well, it's kind of hard to see on the orange, but very much like that. I like the little laneway here. Things don't slip out. A little concern that might be actually, nah, it won't be that tough to put back together. All right, cool. It has a bit of a slight roundness to all the corners and angles. So even though it does look like a very like clean cut board, nothing will scratch you at all. All right, and then the wire should just route through this. This is a bit of an odd take. I like this actually. Just need to straighten up the wire. No keyboard yet has done cable routing, and I hate admitting this. We said this the other day too. No keyboard has done cable routing quite like the GMMK Pro, and I absolutely hate saying that sentence. Hate it, dude. All right, so these are using some like gasket wedges, buttons, whatever you want to call them. There's a 30A, a 60A, and a 90A. I think I do want to start with the middle. Again, my concern with the very soft ones is with softer plates, which we're not using today, so we can't really test this out, is that the softer ones on the softest plate might flex too much and might bottom out. But we can give it a go with carbon fiber today. With the community for an awesome GB. It's been a joy. I love you all. I hope it goes well for you, man. It seems like you've put a lot of passion into this project. I love all the options. Seems like everything so far is good with the Protagonist. Been seeing a lot of good thoughts and comments about it. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it is nice to see that the plate doesn't have any mounting points. It does have mounting points, 2 on each here, and they're kind of not symmetrical. But let's just see, like from top to bottom. Let's see. Also, small other note, the wire is not very difficult to get in here. I don't think we're gonna bottom out with this, which is good. I didn't realize there's like a smaller and larger side. Hold on one sec. Does the top of this go on the top or bottom? Because the gasket has a small circle and a big circle. Oh, bigger circle down. Gotcha. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, we got a lot of room in here. Seems like we're good for this unit with the carbon fiber and middle gasket. The assembly on this is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward, which is good to see too. Yeah, this is a very, very clean installation. Let's actually get rid of some stuff on the desk here. Small observation, which might not matter to some of you guys. The top frame can go on without having to clip the switches. Sometimes when you get these hidden screw designs, you tend to have to either put in switches afterwards, which I don't ever recommend, by the way. Never put switches into a hot swap PCB with no support for the socket, but it's nice to not have to trim or clip your switches. These seem to just slot in fine, which is good. All right, I think Kaiju is the perfect set with this. It's definitely more of a weighty board, which is nice with the, I guess this is with the stainless weight. Visually, it's very pleasing. Again, it does have that sharper, boxier feel everywhere, but the little bit of a subtle roundness in all the corners and even just how the top frame pops up a little bit kind of adds some visual niceness to this. It just kind of separates some stuff, which is cool. Overall, it's a pretty looking keyboard. The bottom of the keyboard has some of my fingerprints. There's gonna be a different oil on this, a different kind of like, you know, protective coat on the final version of this. But you know what? I'm kind of here for a weight that's gonna patina for me. I kind of don't mind that at all. I think that's super cool. Very comfortable, and I can already tell this is gonna be a comfortable keyboard to type on. Very good. Again, this is the 60 thermometer gaskets with this. So let's see what this sounds like. And we are using Obscuras. I did lube them with GS2. And this is the carbon fiber plate. I mean, the alphas already sound nice and bright. Nice and full as well. Oh, nice spacebar. It's a bit more of a deeper spacebar. It's not quite as like bright and poppy as some of the other ones, but it's a bit different. Okay, it isn't the poppy keyboard. Like if you want that suit, like it is a bright sound, but it's a bit different than like here. Let me show you guys an example of what I mean. I kind of like the way it sounds. It's a little bit more of like a deeper sound profile opposed to. So versus the Ori, or maybe not the Ori. Is the Ori a good example? Honestly, this desk pad sounds a little bit different. I'm gonna show you guys what it sounds like on the Cork, which is very comparable to the normal desk pads. See, it's a little different, right? Let's see what the Protagonist sounds like on this. Oh, it's totally different now. Here, listen. Oh, I like it more now, actually. That's crazy. Just to show you guys, desk pads do indeed make a difference. I think this, whatever this is wired in, definitely sounds a little bit deeper. The suede. This sounds like more like if you didn't have a desk pad. All right, let's switch it to the other gaskets here. All right, so far, I mean, I like it. There's a few things that we saw during the stream that obviously Wired In said they're gonna address, which is why we do these prototypes, by the way. All right, let's see what the board sound. I don't think it's gonna sound any different. It's definitely way firmer though, by the way. It's much, much firmer with the 90. Like you can really tell the difference from 60 to 90. Like really tell it. I like it way more with the 90A. I don't think there's a difference in sound. It turned out nice. Overall, some final thoughts of the board. Very nice overall design. I think wired in and, you know, pair it up with some of these colors from Mr. Lubed. They did very, very awesome. The overall shape of the keyboard, I'd say it's very modern. I mean, maybe not these particular colors. This might be a bit out there, but you can definitely get into a color scheme for this board that's more timeless, let's say. I'm going to admit, I don't think orange is silver is super timeless, but you can definitely get something like silver and copper or just polycarbonate, get it to be a little bit more timeless look. But it definitely has the shape for that. The internals, I think they did super well with this little kind of, I don't even know, would you consider these like a tab or a gasket tab? I don't know what Wired wants to call these, but they're very nice as well. The 60A and 90A both felt very different, so probably the 30As will feel even lighter, which is nice. It's nice to have 3 different gaskets that actually do something. Sometimes you only get them doing a little bit, but these actually do feel very different from one another. Sound profile, very full. I don't think you need foam, but if you wanted foam, you probably could get foam. But overall, very happy. The whole board, I think, turned out pretty great. Again, some minor things everywhere, but I think Wired already addressed all the little minor things we brought up during the stream. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.